Good evening, campers. I'm Jason Storms.
I'm Dominic Canty, and with us tonight,
Joe Rafter.
Yeah, guest star Joe. Joe, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I went to school with these guys for 4 years at I'm going to be attending Arizona State as a freshman this year, majoring in, go Devils. I'm going to be majoring in sports management, and I've played football.
Sports degree?
Yeah, exactly, sports degrees. And I've played football for 13 years of my life.
That's very cool.
Okay, so I knew you grew up in Philly. Can you tell us some Philly stuff?
Okay, so I've been actually talking about this a lot because people from my work ask me a lot about it. But basically, I lived in Philly for the early years of my life, and then I moved to Australia for 1 year, back to Philly, and then I moved out here.
Yeah.
It's weird because everyone says I've got kind of a Philly accent, but that's even when I'm not using my actual Philly accent. So, for example, people say I say AT&T, weird, like the phone provider,
AT&T.
the like AT&T, like AT&T Park and stuff like that. Like, but yeah, so basically I'm an Eagles fan. I'm wearing my Philly shirt right now. Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, Philly Soul, all those teams. The Union. So I love all those teams. Die Hard, I bleed green. Eagles are probably my favorite team.
Yeah.
We won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but
Yes,
I'm the only part of my family that doesn't live in that East Coast, like tri-state area region. So yeah, it's kind of lonely out here sometimes when you can't go and see grandma. But
I know those fans are crazy though.
yeah, no,
Eagles
we've got some amazing fans, and I mean, being a season ticket holder for the Eagles and being able to go to those games, like every home game every year, and then playoff games as well. My dad and my grandpa have been to every single Eagles NFC East championship.
That's
Back when Vic played and when McNabb played, and then. Recently when we won the Super Bowl, they've been to every at-home championship game.
That's sick.
Thanks to those tickets. But yeah, we even had our tickets back at the not Lincoln Financial Field, but the Veteran Memorial Stadium. So, like, we've been Eagles fans basically forever.
What's like the craziest fan you've seen?
EDP.
Okay, well, EDP is kind of he's on his own level. I've never actually seen him.
Yeah.
Craziest
Or like encountered with.
Okay, craziest fan encounter or something like that. Probably at one of the games, like fans go crazy. So like if you're in a different colored jersey or you're supporting the other team, you get booed the whole time. You get trashed the whole time. So I think we were sitting next to one guy and basically, or actually my dad was this was at the Vikings Eagles playoff game back before we won the Super Bowl. My dad was sitting next to this guy. This dude was sitting behind my dad. And basically, this dude was a Vikings fan, and he was super excited after the first touchdown when the Vikings got up 7-0 on the Eagles. The dude was cheering and everything. He had his Vikings jersey on. The Eagles then blew the Vikings out, shut him out the rest of the game. That one mess up was because the linebacker was in the wrong spot. They didn't align right. So basically, by the end of the game, this dude had his jersey off. He had taken his jersey off because people kept like yelling at him and saying things and throwing stuff at him. And like, people throw beer cans, people throw beer bottles, people throw trash at you. Like, people dump popcorn on you. People throw their food at you. Just like the whole Russell Westbrook situation in the playoffs this year when the fan dumped popcorn on Russell Westbrook as he was leaving the game with an injury. It's like Philly fans just will disrespect you in every way possible, and it's like it's not like to honestly like try to like be mean to you or be rude to you. It's just because like that's who we are. We just love messing with you. Like, we love getting in people's heads, and we do a really good job at getting in people's heads.
No, I'd want to go to one of those games sometime. Oh my god. Okay, so apparently there's two. Like, you gotta tell me all about like the subs, like the sandwiches. Apparently there's like two competing restaurants. I don't know. I'm not really like familiar.
Yeah. So with the cheesesteaks. There's Pat's and Gino's, which are both in South Philly. They're the main cheesesteak spots. They both claim to be like the original, with air quotes, the original cheesesteak spot. And so there's this huge rivalry in Philly of whether you go to Pat's or whether you go to Gino's. And everyone's got their own opinion. And then there's the other smaller places, like your local places, where you just go because you can't always drive into the city to get a cheesesteak. But, I mean, like the cheesesteaks out here, because we've got the Philly Cheesesteak shop down in they rip you off because, I mean, like, the bread, they get so they fly their rolls in from the East Coast, which is really nice because they get the right roll. They have the right bread.
That's good.
The cheese, they don't do it right because it's whiz. Like, you got to use Cheese Whiz.
And they don't. Oh yeah, you're right. They don't do that.
They use like sliced cheese. You got to use Cheese Whiz. And then the meat is done well because it's steakums, which is exactly what you use because you can make steakums at home and you can basically make yourself a cheesesteak if you get all the right ingredients. Yeah. But they also do the ordering process whole differently because basically when you're ordering a cheesesteak, you order it basically one of two ways. You've got whiz wit or whiz without, which means you want with onions. Whiz wit means you want the cheesesteak with. Wit means like with. And so that's with the onions and with the peppers. And whiz without is you want the cheesesteak with the cheese whiz but without the onions and the peppers. Ooh. And basically, so there's this whole rivalry between those two places, and then you've also got your hoagie places.
I've heard about that.
So there's everyone wants to call it everywhere else you go, you'll call it a sub sandwich or like a Subway sandwich, but in Philly you call it a hoagie. So we have this place called Wawa.
I've heard about that.
It's my favorite place to get a sandwich. You can get basically anything there. It's a gas station, but then inside you've got a sandwich place, a coffee place, kind of like a 7-Eleven-esque like shopping area. Yeah. They now do burgers and fries. They've got milkshakes. They've got slushies. They've got basically everything you need. So it's like your one-stop shop when you're on the road.
Hey, shout out Wawa. I was gonna go to Penn State for like a hot minute. Okay. So like in our group chat name was like, so basically one of my friends, like their parents got really mad at them when they just went out to go to Wawa. So our chat name is why would you go to Wawa? And apparently they talk it up, like people in the chat like talk it up like every like other week because it's like it's not like as like like active anymore. Yeah, but like totally. we always talk about Wawa. Like everyone whenever they're in Wawa they take pictures of it. So like I've hyped it. I've heard it a lot of hype. I want to go there.
It's like the Philly classic. Like I mean, it's in basically the Northeast. So like you'll find them in New York and Philly and Jersey, and then they've also got them down in Florida. But it's only really in those couple states. Yeah. Which is annoying because like they've got some of the best sandwiches I've had in my life, and they're cheap. Like it's like
it's a gas station.
Yeah, exactly. It's a gas station, so it's cheap, and you can get you can get basically everything you want because it's like a 7-Eleven plus more.
It's like the goated 7-Eleven.
It's the best. They've got like cheesesteaks, they've got like pizza subs, they've got meatball subs, or meatball hoagies. They've got like all this stuff. I'm trying to put it in the California terms so people watching understand. Yeah. But like, so there's the cheesesteak, the whole thing between Pat's and Gino's and where you get your cheesesteak and how you order your cheesesteak. Yeah. And then there's the hoagies, which is like Subway versus your Wawa places or like your traditional like neighborhood kind of.
Yeah. And you got to go wit, right?
Yeah, you got to go wit. When you get your cheesesteak, you got to get it wit. You got to get the whiz wit.
I don't know who doesn't get it without. That would just sound.
I know. Didn't. Got his just straight cheese and steak, and I would always get mad at him for doing that.
Oh, what a guy. So yeah, you were talking about like your sports management thing, right? I was actually thinking about doing that for a while. Like, what do you want to be, like a coach, or do you want to be like a or yeah, what do you want to be?
Yeah.
Like what sort of branch?
So for me, I think it's definitely working my way to the highest level of football because football is the sport I've been playing since I was 5 years old. It's really been the biggest constant in my life. Like when I lived in Australia, I actually didn't miss football season because I moved right at the end and then came back right at the beginning.
Right.
But I've played it on the East Coast. I played it on the West Coast. I played it in a couple different states. Like it's something I've like traveled the country for it. I went to Florida for a combine that was helped run by the NFL and like for the Pro Bowl. There's a lot of like it's my thing. And so I would love to get to the NFL. If I'm a coach, I'd love that. If I'm in the front office, I could do that as well. But my plan right now, so I'm going to Arizona State. It's unrelated, but coincidence is that one of my dad's friends, who I also am somewhat in touch with, he went to Arizona State, played football there, played in the NFL, was drafted by the Eagles, was a lineman for the Eagles for a while. Okay. He played like 8 years, I think. His name's Scott Peters. He's now the assistant offensive line coach for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, that's what's up.
So I'm at his alma mater right now. And his actual original company that got him hired is called Tip of the Spear, which is a unique coaching technique for offensive and defensive linemen about using leverage, and it like takes kind of like Brazilian jiu-jitsu and some judo stuff, and you can like move your body in certain ways where you can't be pushed backwards and where you can move basically any size human being anywhere you want. And so that took the Browns from this, and along with other factors.
Dude, their O-line's nice right
Their
now.
O-line is ridiculous with Nick
Crazy.
Chubb. And, like, Nick Chubb struggled with their O-line 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This year, Nick Chubb was an
Crazy.
animal. Kareem Hunt was an animal.
Animal.
Their O-line, or, like, their run game was, like, top 5 in the league.
Yeah.
So I like to credit that to Scott as much as Chubb is great and Kareem Hunt is great.
The
like,
O-line, definitely.
it's the O-line. Like, you saw what happened with Zeke on the Cowboys. He didn't have
yeah.
any O-line. He was terrible.
Garbage.
Now, I don't think Zeke is that good, but
Yeah, but
he
like,
didn't have an O-line,
didn't
so
have
he's going to fall apart.
Exactly.
But so I would love to get to the NFL, work under Scott, maybe intern for him, or just
because you have that connection.
right, because I've got a connection to
Exactly.
the NFL right there. And then through some other guys, like through a friend of a friend, they know the owner of the Raiders. I'm also used to, when I was growing up back on the East Coast, my neighbor's brother, who we were very good friends with, he's now the GM, Mike Mayock. He is now the GM for the Oakland Raiders as well.
Right.
So I'm trying to use some of these kind of connections to hopefully
get your
work my
place.
way into the
That's
NFL
what's
so I
up.
can get to my dream job and hopefully be a coach or hopefully work in the front office somewhere, just stay around football as long as I can.
If you were to coach any team like right now, what team would you coach? And I'll go after you.
Yeah, so I think my bias is going to tell me to go Eagles, but if I was
Yeah.
like looking for a team where I think I'm going to learn the most and like potentially like bust into the playoffs, I mean, Browns would be a great team to be with. I think even Washington football, like I'm an Eagles fan, but the
they would be-
Washington
they'd be-
football team, it's paining me to call them the football team right now, but I will. The football team, they've got some phenomenal coaches in Jack Del Rio and
what's his
Riverboat Ron Rivera, who
Ron.
took the Panthers to the Super Bowl with prime Cam Newton. That's another great team. And then I would have to say the Raiders are going to be another great team.
I think
Like,
the Chargers would be fun.
Chargers would be really fun too. You got
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year Herbert. You got some good, like a strong receiving core, really good defense. I mean, their secondary fell apart when they lost kind of all those guys.
Derwin
Like the only,
James,
the only guy remaining is really Derwin.
Yeah.
Because what's his face? Casey Hayward left,
They were left, yeah.
and Desmond King also left.
Right.
So they're down to
I
basically
think,
Desmond.
sorry, this is a random thing about the Chargers, but I feel like their O-line went from like terrible, and then they got Corey Linsley, and then they got Rashawn Slater.
They drafted. No. He was drafted.
They drafted a
Yeah, so he
lineman.
hasn't played. But basically they're trying to build their lineup because they've realized that Herbert's gonna be their franchise QB.
They need to get that. Yeah.
So they need to protect him, and they're gonna get as many linemen. They're gonna do what they can to build him a line, and they're gonna try to get him some young receivers to come in as Keenan Allen is starting to transition out.
Yeah.
And they just lost Hunter Henry, their tight end, so they're gonna have to be looking for a tight end soon
That's
as well.
facts.
So
yeah, exactly.
I mean that would be another really
That'd
fun
be
team to
That'd
get
be a really
to
fun team to
work
do.
for or coach for.
What's up?
You're
We've
talking
just been
about
on the
football.
same-
Football is
I don't know jack shit about football.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Um,
No, I mean I like listening to it. It's
Dom, have you watched any other sports movies though, like football movies, like
football movies.
Yeah, bro,
Like, remember the Titans?
like the Michael Oher one, Blindside.
Blindside's really
phenomenal
good.
movie.
Oh,
I mean, remember the Titans has to be one of my favorite movies.
Oh my god.
Gets me
yes.
every time. I'll start crying every time. As soon as I don't
car
want to
crash
spoil
one?
it, but the car crash scene that gets me every time. And then when he's in the hospital and when they finally win that game,
yeah.
Oh,
like
God.
I'll break down in tears.
And we're back.
back.
We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but now we are back.
Back.
Yeah.
And
There we go.
we wanted to talk about. Joe was just telling us off camera about his work. And, sounds pretty interesting.
It's so basically I work at a ice cream place in the kind of shopping center. It's called Love and Cup. We're kind of a gourmet. I say this in air quotes. Gourmet
Yeah.
ice cream place, and then we also sell rice pudding and we have our cookies that we sell, but we never sell any of them because they're overpriced. Everything's basically
How much are the cookies?
cookies are like $1 and they're about like probably
Oh.
like 3 inches in diameter. So
No one's
or
buying
in
that.
diameter. So they're not. I mean, they're good cookies. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They're,
But they're
they're
tiny,
like
though.
they're crunchy, but they're tiny. So like, I'm a soft cookie kind of guy,
Yeah,
so I don't
me
really
too.
like it.
I can't eat the hard cookies.
But they're good if you put them in the ice cream. So basically, I've been working there for the past couple months, just trying to make up money before I go to college. And I've made a good amount of money. But now I'm picking up way more shifts, so I'm more busy at work, and I don't have as much time to like go out and party or whatever, like go hang out with people.
Yeah.
But it's like we deal with, so it's Marin.
tell us about
It's
the
Marin. It's in like I'm in. I've got to deal with.
Oh, Daisy.
I've got to deal with like
Yeah, keep going.
a lot of different types of customers. So 2 days ago, I opened the store. So I'm there from 12 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. So it's kind of an easy shift. I take like a 10-minute break and like that's really it. So I work for basically 5 hours straight.
Yeah.
But I was opening the store, and so I get in there at 12 and I start opening, and we don't open until 12:30. So I'm in there at 12. I'm starting my open. And this woman starts knocking on the door, and so I go over and I unlock the door and I open it and I say, "Hi, how can I help you?" And she said, "Are you guys open?" And I said, "No, we actually have new hours. We are now open from 12:30 to 8:30." She said, "You guys need to open more. Like you need to be open more. I'm always here and you're never open." And I said,
"Who's getting ice cream at like 11 o'clock?"
Exactly. Like
That's.
I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm not in charge of the hours. Like
Yeah,
my
you
manager is in
can't
charge
do
of this. I
anything.
can't do anything about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You guys are gonna go out of business. Like you need to be open more. You need to sell more ice cream." And I'm like,
Okay.
is this lady really telling
she
me
have
how
a-
to run a business?
Yeah.
Like,
I
you
think-
don't work here, A, and B, like I don't like you're like 70 years old, so I don't know what you're doing, like yelling at me about this.
Yeah. If she's retired, then she has no talk.
It was interesting. So me and her have a little discussion, and then I basically like tell her she leaves. And I go back to my open, but it's like we do fine with our profits. Like I give away a ton of ice cream. Like Pierre, if you're listening to this, it's okay. Amanda told me I could do it when I first got hired. But basically, the football team had practice one day, and I told them after to swing by, and I gave out like $140 in ice cream.
That's
Jesus.
clutch. That's clutch.
Because they were like, it was like 90 degrees that day. They were hot. It was hot. They had been practicing for 4 hours. I was
Yeah.
like, dude,
You gotta
like
clutch
let me
them up.
get y'all ice cream. Like let me help you guys like cool off and beat the heat, and then go back and eat your massive lunch that you need to eat, and
Yeah.
take your ice baths and do that. But let me help you guys out a little bit.
Dude, and that lady saying, "Oh, guys aren't making enough money."
Right,
Oh
exactly.
yeah,
I
we
mean-
can afford to get.
Right. I like, and it doesn't hurt our profits. Like we're still basically positive by like our previous week. Like we're beating our previous week's earnings every
That's
day.
Jesus.
That's
So we're making good money, and like they also told me I'm allowed to give away as much ice cream as I want and give as many discounts as you want. So
Hey.
you two ever want ice cream, just swing by.
Got you.
But it's super fun working there. I mean, like the stores basically we've got the counter and then all of our ice cream stuff behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And how it would normally be is the door would be open and people could come in and order their ice cream, and we would make it for them. Because of COVID, we've made it so that people actually can't come into the store. So we've blocked off the door, and we've got like a little table set up there where I take the orders and then bring them back to a coworker who makes the ice cream. And it's really nice that way because, number one, it's a lot easier to clean because you don't have people coming in, dropping ice cream, getting ice cream on their hands, touching stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to you only really have to clean what you touch when you're working. At the end of the day, like you got to clean the machines and you clean the counters and and the floors, and that's really all. And it's a lot easier to kind of control the customers because you don't have them wandering around. You don't have people sitting in there like being in there for like 50 minutes that eat their ice cream in 5 minutes and then just sit there and talk. You can keep people outside. There's all the chairs out there. It's very nice.
Very nice.
The only bad thing about it is like people will order and then they'll walk away and they'll be gone for like
And
20
then you
minutes.
can't find them.
Right, and you make their ice cream in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they're gone for like 20, and it's just like, so we stick it in the freezer, but like I'm like,
Still though.
where?
Like,
And then they
just-
come back and they're angry, like, where's my ice cream? And I'm like,
Bro, where were
I made it for
you?
you 17 minutes ago,
Where
and
were
you
you?
left. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's not my fault
Exactly.
that you walked away.
Nah.
I
remember when I worked at like the place that I worked at. I agree with you with like the people. I remember because I worked before COVID, so like we would have people like we'd have little 4-year-olds like put ketchup on their fries and like
God.
and put just on the entire
Oh
table.
God.
And guess who'd have to clean that?
Right.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
No, but like stuff like that. And like they would always be like super like loud, but it's fine. But like I get you. Like it's always easier when, like, because eventually we had like this hour where we would close off like the doors and it'd just be like this little side panel, and those were like the chill hours because like no one could come in. It would just be like me serving like either like ice cream or like making fries or something.
Right.
It was very chill.
It's really easy when you can keep people outside, and like when you're inside and everyone's outside, you can talk about whatever you want. You can listen to whatever kind of music you want.
Exactly.
Like it's basically like you're just hanging out. And with my coworkers, we're basically all kids about to go into college or going to be seniors in high school. And we've got a couple kids who are out of college.
Yeah.
And right now we don't have a manager. Like, our manager comes in once a week for 10 minutes because he's got to manage a bunch of other places in the city.
Jesus.
So we basically, like, are in charge of the store ourselves. We're getting a manager next week, which tomorrow's my last day of work for the week. And then I'll start back on Wednesday. And we'll have a manager then. But my Wednesday and Thursday days, he's not there. But, I mean, it's been great not having a manager because basically we're in charge. We, like, get the things done, and we delegate everything, and everyone, like, pitches in equally.
That's cool.
Which is really good because it's not like one person just doesn't do anything and everyone else has to pick up. Like, everyone is very responsible and very good at teamwork and very productive, and, like, we get everything done. And closing time has been cut down. Like, they used to make it be only one person closing for an entire store.
That's so bad.
Which is awful. So it would take you like an hour and a half to close to get everything done. Now it takes us about 20 minutes to close because we've got 2 or 3 people there, and everyone just does their work and everyone gets out.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Exactly.
It's super easy, and everyone puts me at the front of the store doing the sales because I'm like everyone says salesman? I'm good with people.
Yeah, you are.
Like in the first hour I made $20 in sales and I was by myself. $20 in tips. And then in an hour, and so like everyone puts me in the front, and I always get a bunch of cash tips, and everyone's like, Joe, you just stay in the front of the store, take the sales, talk to people, bring people in, get money and then we split the tips among everyone. But so it's like everyone gets money, everyone benefits. I do probably the easier stuff of talking to people and typing on the tablet and then giving it back and not having to make the stuff, but everyone tells me to go to the front and just
because like I mean that might be hard for some other people who there are people that are like more shy and
the introverted people, like stuff like that. So it's really good. Everyone's got their strengths and their weaknesses, and everyone kind of like takes care of each other and helps each other out. And honestly it's a really fun job, and they're kind of always hiring. So if anyone listening to this needs a job, stop by Loving Cup, ask for someone to recommend you to our manager, and you'll probably have a job within a week. But it's super fun, super easy job, a lot of good like kind of ice cream benefits. Like, you can have whatever you want when you're working. Everything's free when you're not working. You can take home I took home like 3 pints of ice cream today for free.
Hey, what's your favorite flavor ice cream?
I like the strawberry shortcake's pretty good. I would say the Cookie Monster, which is like Oreos and cookie dough with vanilla ice cream.
That would be my favorite.
It's really good. A lot of people order it. My family loves it. Like,
yeah, no, I love that like cookie dough, like rocky, like stuff with like cookie dough, and
it's
just,
so
like,
good.
I'll love it.
It's amazing. But so yeah, lots of good perks. Really easy, pays well, super fun.
Exactly.
It's a great job. I'm very glad that I took it.
That's what's up.
Exactly.
Dom, have you ever had any summer jobs?
Well, not really, but I did have a modeling gig that paid $500 in 5 hours. So I made $100 an hour one day.
That's sick.
So that was pretty fucking fun.
How was that?
Dude, it was literally just talking to people, smiling, laughing at people, improving. It was probably the best experience of my life.
Yeah.
Because the dude's literally sitting with a camera, just telling you what to do. Like, the camera guy's right there. Me and Joe are taking a photo together. He just tells us to look at each other. Smile. Easiest $500 of my life.
That feels like
easiest money in my life.
I feel like you'd feel like so good about yourself, like being a model.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, you remember?
Yeah.
You remember?
Oh yeah.
She sent me a picture. She got an email from William Jessup, and I was on the front page of that email.
That's what's
it was pretty sick.
No,
awesome.
Apparently he's like the face of.
Yeah, I'm the face of their mass email list now.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I've heard other people that would
really
get you. Yeah, I'm not gonna say names because I don't want to like.
Wait, from emails from William Jessup?
Yeah. No, I think other people have like told me that like, hey, I saw Dom, or is that Dom? Like, yeah, that's sick. I don't know.
No, it's a really good feeling when everyone just like messages you with the picture. Is this you?
Right.
It's not to be like weird or anything, but it's just a good feeling, you know.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So Dom, Joe's talked about his dream job. What's like your dream? I know you want to be
you
like an actor.
know my fucking dream job.
No. I know you want to be.
You
an
know
actor.
my dream job.
No, but like what's
I know his
like
dream
what
job.
What specifically like a movie like.
Oh, definitely a Martin Scorsese movie. definitely a Martin
You're gonna have
Scorsese
to
movie.
Yeah, can you explain that for the people at home?
And me.
Yeah,
basically-
yeah, for the people at home. And
For the
not-
people
they're
at
not-
home, and
they're
not for me, because I know who that guy is.
I don't know what that is.
They're basically long, gritty, slow-burning movies with usually really weird twists at the end.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Shutter Island?
Yes.
Yeah.
Phenomenal movie.
I want, like, a movie like that would be fucking awesome.
Okay, but was he actually a killer or was he a cop?
Yes, okay.
That's the question.
That fucks with my brain so much.
See, I think he was a cop and they just, like,
Brainwashed him.
and just, like, convinced him.
Like, if someone tells you you're going crazy and you say you're not going crazy, that
It makes
further
you
proves,
know
you're going crazy.
Yeah.
It proves their point. Hey, you're going crazy.
Right. And he came onto the island as a cop.
Yes.
And he came onto the island with a gun, and you don't give a crazy person who just murdered people a gun.
But you do remember, though, well, spoiler alert.
Wait, what's this? You gotta tell me about this movie. I've never
Shutter
seen it.
Island?
Yeah, I've never seen
So
it.
Leo
God, it's
DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo
Yeah.
go on an island to investigate. They're U.S. Marshals. They go on this old mental ward island or some shit.
For, like,
And
crazy criminals.
to like.
For crazy criminals to investigate the disappearance of an inmate.
Ooh.
But then shit just starts to get weirder and weirder and weirder. And I can't say anymore without really spoiling it.
Yeah,
Right.
but it goes crazy.
But Joe, back to your point about the gun in the end.
Yeah.
You remember the lighthouse? He goes in the lighthouse with his sidearm.
Right.
And then, but, you know, he goes back to his hand and it's plastic.
Right.
I mean, come on. He has to be imagining that.
Right. Totally. So here's the thing. You think about it, where he's staying with Mark Ruffalo, right?
Yes.
And in the end, Mark Ruffalo's working for the
Yes.
dude who runs the mental institution.
This could just be one of the biggest fucking psychological experiments of all time.
No, it definitely is, because
this is
this movie
trippy,
is so complicated. It's so, like, the twists in it are, you just don't see them coming, and they just come out of nowhere. And this is the whole point of the movie. The whole point of the movie is to be super confusing and then make you think about it and get confused thinking about it.
Yeah.
So,
You kind of draw your own conclusion. In a
exactly. So I've drawn the conclusion he was a police officer, or he was a U.S. Marshal, and they threw the island. They, like, tricked him, and they threw all the time there.
But you know what they never explained,
though?
though?
To do that.
Like, in the beginning of the movie, he had a Band-Aid on his head.
Correct.
Like, from something they never explained that.
Right.
Also, they said, like, he resets after a period of time, and he reverts back to his cop state, right?
Right.
But, like, what I'm thinking is, like, they put him on the boat while he was, like, in the middle of freaking out and, like, basically just resetting himself back to the cop form.
This is tripping me out right now.
But-
I haven't even seen it.
Also, in the beginning when they landed on the island, they were surrounded by the guards. You know, the guards all had
Right.
guns. They were all surrounding him.
True.
And they didn't let him have his gun.
Well, they took his gun
So-
off him when he got to the front gate.
Okay, yeah, that's a
But,
good
like, so yeah, I get what you're saying. I totally understand, like, both sides of the argument. And it's just one of those movies that's like, you're going to draw your own conclusion, and it's going to be really hard to change your mind because you've watched the movie and you believe this.
Yeah.
But, like,
So you actually believe he was a cop
I believe he was a cop,
who
and I
got
believe...
turned insane.
Yes. Who didn't get turned insane, but who got told he was insane and got told he did all this stuff and had images and things put
And he's
into his
believing
head.
it.
Like the ending where he kills his wife.
Right. I believe that was basically something that they had told him he did, and when they told him repeatedly that he did it, and it was 3 people yelling at him, you killed your wife, you did this,
'Cause
you did that.
eventually you just believe-
Eventually,
yeah.
you're just going to start questioning things. Like, you can kind of make
Yeah.
up your own sense of reality. Like, if you think if you want to change a small thing,
Yeah.
like from the past, like if you want to say, like, Mr. had did Mr. have a mustache? Did he have a beard? Or did he have both?
He had
Like,
a goatee.
right. So, like, you could,
You just
if
keep
you
thinking
thought,
Oh, yeah.
if you thought he had a mustache, only a mustache for long enough, or you thought he only had the bottom part of his beard, your
Yeah.
brain would eventually
Like-
switch those things. If I told you
Yeah, exactly.
he didn't have a goatee, he just had a mustache, but it, like, came down like the Fu Manchu,
Yeah.
this part wasn't grown in. If I told you that enough, and people
And you started to believe it.
and
You'd
people
believe
started
it.
telling you that enough, you would start questioning that, and then you would believe that he did have a Fu Manchu until you saw him.
That's a good.
So
fucking point.
that's my interpretation of it, is that he was just told he killed his wife. He burned the house down.
Oh God.
And it just went, and people kept telling him, and he started to question, like, maybe this did happen, because his wife did die in a house fire.
Yeah.
So and his wife did kill their kids in the lake. His wife killed the kids, and then she burned the house down and killed herself.
Oh my god.
From my memory. So maybe it was that they told him, no,
You killed your wife.
you killed your wife in revenge for killing your kids. And because he came home to the house burning, because he came home to the house burning, and it would all make sense that you basically blacked out of anger in that moment, that you didn't know where your kids were. You saw them in the lake dead, drowning, like floating in the lake dead, and then you came back inside and out of anger you killed your wife. Forgot that period, and you were seeing red. Is the
it's so crazy.
Because when you get so mad, you start to see red. Like you can only think of anger, and you can only do violent things. And you killed your wife and burned the house down.
Fuck me.
Which is crazy to think about all this stuff.
It's so crazy. It might be true,
You're gonna
but
have
also
to
might
explain
not
that shit to Madison after this. Dude.
You gotta watch. Like, if you haven't watched the movie, go watch the movie. This is not an advertisement.
Wait, what's it on?
Shutter Island. It's on.
It's on Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's also on Netflix.
Okay, I'm gonna
most
watch
people
it.
have
I'm gonna watch
Netflix.
it.
Most people have Amazon Prime. You can find it super easy. Really good movie. Really trippy.
Now I have to rewatch it.
Dude, I love all those trippy
It's really
movies.
good.
I
It's
love all
really
those
good.
trippy
I mean,
movies.
what's another trippy movie? Like
Inception.
Inception. That's another good one. Also on Netflix.
Oh, wait, were you in the physics class with us?
Interstellar's not
Interstellar.
like scary, but it trips
I was
you
in
out.
your we were all in physics class. Yeah, that's what I mean. We all we were all in that
Interstellar was
physics
trippy
class.
as well.
That was so, because it was like, as the movie's ending, it's actually restarting.
Yeah.
Like, which is so weird.
Oh, because all that like time warp stuff, like that
the wormhole.
because it's like actually real though.
Like that's the thing. The movie was based around science, so all of it is like
possible.
It's like all
possible,
which is like that.
Which is really trippy.
It's because like you.
What about that time dilation shit?
What?
Like they spent like maybe 2 hours on a planet.
No, that's real. Because,
that's real.
That's real?
Yeah, because how far away you go from where you. I don't know.
Fuck.
It's confusing to explain, but like.
Well,
because you know how like stuff rotates.
Yeah.
If you're so far out, then you're gonna rotate.
Oh, it's like the planets rotating.
I don't know if that's how it works, but like
it's like a year on Earth is like 16 years on Mars. Like there's like things like that because Mars spins faster.
Yeah.
So like a day on Earth is actually like 5 days on Mars. Because Mars has had enough time to do a full revolution.
Enough times.
And then it's spun 5 times by the time you've done that. So it's like, it's weird like that. Like,
it's weird.
Space-time works, or you could just go by Earth time. Like, you won't age any differently.
Yeah.
Because the human body ages at the same rate it will always age at. That's not controlled by the time and the days and the years. Yeah. We just use the years to mark how long
we've been alive. But the thing is, like, the things, like, not, like, around you, but probably really far away from you are moving at, like, a different rate because they're in that different area.
Different gravitational pull, all this weird stuff.
It's so weird to think about. Oh, my God.
Movies are just trippy. Some movies. It's like another movie like Glass. That movie was weird.
What's that about?
It's the Split guy with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. It's like Glass. He's got bones.
Did you watch Split?
Oh no, I
James McAvoy, right?
Yes, McAvoy. Basically, he's this dude, and he has like
he's got like 22 personalities.
22 different personalities.
Okay.
So he's like, it's basically about him having split personalities. And he's like a crazy guy, and he does all this crazy stuff. And then the follow up to it was this dude named Glass, who's Samuel L. Jackson, and he's like some sort of like genius, like telepathic kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
But his bones are just.
But he's
god awful.
Glass, like he can, like if he gets hit, his whole body's gonna break because he's glass.
He's glass.
So that's why they call him Glass. And then Bruce Willis was the good guy in the movie. Who was another superhero. He was
Wasn't he like super strong?
Yeah, he had like he was like almost like Deadpool, I want to say, like where he couldn't really be hurt or whatever, but he also had super strength. To the best of my memory. But I love those movies because those movies are directed by M. Night Shyamalan. He's from Philadelphia, where I'm from, and he shoots all of his movies in Pennsylvania, in Philly, or he tries to shoot all of his movies in Philly, which is really cool. So. In the end of Glass, you actually see, the Eagles' defensive end, Chris Long.
Hey,
So he was originally the Patriots' defensive end, and he went to UVA, like his dad, Howie Long, the Hall of Famer for the Raiders. Yeah. So Chris Long plays a doctor in the end of the movie. He's in like a suit, and he's sitting there, and he's talking with someone. I forget exactly who it was. But it's Chris Long, the Eagles' defensive end. And so Shyamalan like did that as a little like Easter egg. Like if you're an Eagles fan and you've watched the movie, you recognize or somewhat of a experience, like a seasoned NFL football like watcher. You understand like, oh wait, that's Chris Long. I know this guy. I've seen him somewhere. He played on the Eagles. He won the Super Bowl with the Eagles. And he won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. Like I know this guy. So yeah, I like that guy because I mean I'm from Philly, so everything related to Philly I love. I mean like I'm a huge Meek Mill fan. I'm a huge Will Smith fan. I'm a huge Lil Uzi fan. Boys to Men. Those guys, I love all those guys. But anything Philly, I support. Love them all.
What's your favorite like Uzi song right now? I haven't listened to that much of it, but like I listened to like enough.
I didn't love. Okay, so Lullaby from the Pluto X Baby Pluto album with Future, that one was pretty good. I just liked it because it was like more of like a mellow song. It wasn't him like going really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. That song was pretty good. 2 with like the restricted, like you know, like the logo, like when something like when your word is like restricted or like trademarked or whatever, it has that like R on it.
Yeah,
so it's like 2 and then it has that like R trademark thing. That song's pretty good. 444 plus 222 equals 6. Like that song is pretty good. Like he's got a lot of good music. I like a lot of his stuff. 7 a.m. is a really good one. Like. He's just got a lot of good music. And Meek, I love Meek Mill. Like, he's the fucking GOAT. Like, he is the best. I love him. Because a lot of his stuff is just, like, hype-up stuff. Like,
no, it's so hype.
He was in jail. Like, great. Like, I love this dude. He got arrested. Like, even though he got arrested.
What did he get arrested for?
So, he had a previous weapons charge.
Yeah.
He didn't get thrown in jail. He got put on, like,
probation.
Yeah, so he was on probation. So then one night he goes out, and in Philly, another Philly thing that I know that is, like, specific to Philly, there's these traditions or, like, this, like, culture about riding ATVs and dirt bikes in the city. And it's like I don't want to say more of, like, a poor thing, but it's definitely seen in the lesser income places. And like so Meek Mill, he goes out and he does a lot of stuff with the people. Like he goes out and he hangs out with people and he does a lot of stuff and he likes being out there and like he likes interacting with fans and things like that.
Yeah, right.
So he was riding his motorcycle with a bunch of other people, or his dirt bike with a bunch of other people, and a police officer pulled him over.
That's not street legal, is it?
No, it's not. But everyone does it in Philly, and the police don't really care. The police don't really care about it unless it's like a huge group of you on the road blocking up traffic.
Yeah, because if Meek Mill's driving down, I'm trying to follow him.
Right, but so there's like a lot of people who do it, and like a ton of people, and people will just do it in the streets, and there'll be like 30 ATVs driving together, and people will just go places and park their ATVs and go get food. Like it's just something that people do in Philly, and it's I haven't seen it in any other city, if any other city.
Yeah.
So Meek was riding his dirt bike, and the officer pulled him over and said he was driving recklessly. He got sent to court, and the judge, she said, "You're going to jail. Like, you have a gun charge, and you were driving recklessly.
Just give him bail.
So you're going to jail." So basically, he went to jail, and then it was the Free Meek movement, which was a big thing.
I remember that.
And part of the movement, the Eagles Super Bowl year 2018, the song that they actually entered the stadium for before the game was "Dreams and Nightmares" by Meek Mill, which is one of my favorite songs of all time because it will forever be tied to that Super Bowl victory. It will be that Meek Mill song that everyone from Philly knows. If you're an Eagles fan, you start singing that song, people around you are going to start singing that song. It's going to be forever tied with us. And the day he got out of prison, he actually it was Sixers were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He gets out of prison. One of his buddies, who is he's tied with the Sixers somehow. I believe he is either a part owner or somewhere in the front office.
Yeah, right.
Basically, that dude rents a helicopter, flies to the prison, picks Meek Mill up from prison.
That's so sick.
Has a change of clothes for Meek Mill. Actually, no, Meek Mill came out of jail wearing his clothes that he went in jail wearing.
Okay.
Flies Meek to the Sixers, to somewhere in Philly near the Sixers stadium. They get out. They drive to the game. Meek Mill gets there before the game starts, and the tradition for the game, for playoff games, and before big games.
They ring the bell, right?
They ring the bell. So it's a mock of the Liberty Bell, and they have a hammer. And so Meek Mill's like first 2 hours out of prison. The dude is sitting courtside at a Sixers game, getting to ring the bell before the game. So it was this huge thing. The whole stadium was electric. They went and they crushed the game. But so like, I don't even remember what the question was. Whatever we were talking about.
Me neither.
We were talking.
I just rambled,
it was
bro.
like favorite.
No, we
song.
went to fucking Martin Scorsese movies, to Shutter Island, to
Split
M.
to
Night
Shyamalan
to
Philly to Chris
Lil Uzi
Long
Vert,
to music
This
now.
is we branched off.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this is what I do. I just ramble on. So
Yeah, wait,
if y'all need to stop me, just stop me. Go
No,
ahead.
we like it.
No, we like. So, is he your favorite artist?
Meek?
Or like, who's like your favorite?
I mean, okay, so I listen to Meek more if I'm like working out or getting ready for something big, like, or just trying to like get hyped up. I'll listen to Meek. So he's not my like most common artist. However, he is definitely one of my favorites. I would say I've been listening to a lot of Polo G recently. I've been going back and like, because I do that every once in a while where I take an artist and I just go back and I listen through like all their albums and kind of pick out my favorite songs from each album, if I haven't already listened to that album.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that a lot with Polo G, some Future stuff, but I would say probably right now Polo G is probably like the most common artist that I'm listening to. And I've just been going through so much stuff right now, like drama shit. So Polo G just has a lot of bars that just hit, and I've been watching like a lot of movies, and just stuff has been sticking with me.
Just about, yeah.
So I've just been like going like, yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff's been going on, and music is just like one way that like I can like cope kind of, and like same with movies and stuff like that. Just like kind of getting some alone time and just like listening to something, like taking my mind off of it, but also using that time to kind of like look inside and like reflect on like you fucked up, or like this was like messed up, or you need to do this in order to fix this, that kind of stuff. Like it's just nice. And so Polo G's been there for me right now, man.
Dude, when I'm driving home at night, it's John Mayer all the way.
You listen to a ton of John Mayer,
I love John Mayer, bro. He's a chiller. He just released a new album too, so that's what's up. Also J. Cole. Anything J. Cole and 21, yes. I goes crazy.
21 Savage?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge 21.
I know. I think
that's fair.
He's very. That's fair, because like he's very like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I feel like he's kind of like a chill rapper. Like he talks like this. Yeah, he talks like this.
Yeah.
And like there's not much like he's not like super hype necessarily, I would say.
Totally.
But like I don't know. I don't know. For me, it's like super easy to sing to, like all those guys, you know. But like I kind of listen to. I'm not like a very picky person. I'll just listen to whatever music.
I mean, yeah, I'll say it's kind of hard to rap to like Eminem when he's like rap god and he's going like super fast. Like you can't really do that. But like the slower rappers, like J. Cole's more lyrical. 21 is kind of more like.
Well, it's more like repeating the same thing.
Right. It's more repeating the same thought. It's repeating the same thing and him ad-libbing and things like that. Right, exactly. It's a lot of ad libs and it's a lot of chorus, but like honestly, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's like shoot, my favorite. The Migos are like, they're fine. Like I'll listen to it, but my favorite, I love Takeoff so much because he's so funny. I don't know, for me, because like he does like all the ad libs and he has like a verse once every like 3 songs.
Right.
He's like, take off.
He's not that huge of the group.
No, but he's so funny.
But he's good.
He's funny. What about you, Dom?
Me?
Music. Yeah.
You know me. I like show tunes.
Yeah,
I like show tunes.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with show tunes, but if I had to say like normal music, like Eminem is like kind of his old stuff.
Yeah.
Like back when he was on drugs.
Crazy Eminem. Bro, those lyrics are so weird.
Like where he wasn't afraid to just say anything.
Oh, dude, I miss that kind of music, and I wish people were more like that.
People were more like
I wish people like just didn't care.
Yeah,
like
people care too much.
People are too set in their ways. Like people think everything is like
offensive.
Like dude. So I was talking with a coworker today, and I said like I didn't like Megan Thee Stallion's music, or I don't like some of her stuff. Like it's my opinion.
Yeah, it's just your
like
opinion.
I'm having an opinion. I'm like, I don't like some of her stuff. Like Cardi B is a little hard for me to listen to. Like Megan Thee Stallion, City Girls, like those people, and like yes, they're all female artists, but the reason I have a problem with them,
they always talk about like
it's a pussy.
It's too sexual for me, is what I was saying. And she was like, well, a lot of male music is sexual. And so she went right to Travis Scott, and she found 2 things. After like searching for like 20 minutes, she found 2 things. She found the Sicko Mode album cover with like the naked girls on it, which is like not actually used.
Yeah, I've never even seen that.
Exactly. I didn't even know it existed. But she looked it up and she found it. So it's like some alternative cover which isn't used in any of his actual albums. And then she found the Sicko Mode video, which You're using the
surprise.
exactly the Astroworld album cover.
Yeah.
With like boobs and ass on it, but like that's fine. And then she went to the Sicko Mode song and found some girls in like bikinis and was like, oh, this is sexual.
So when Nicki Minaj does all that anaconda shit,
right? I brought that up too, and she was like, that's too much for you? And I was like, I don't want to listen to a girl talking about penises like on the whole song. Like the whole song is about penises. Like, I'm sorry.
This is not much.
And so the first thing I do, I look up Megan Thee Stallion video.
Oh my god, it's awful.
No,
some random video comes up, I click on it.
This
I
isn't
start
sexual
watching
to you?
it. I do like the 10-second skip, like where you double tap on your phone, because that works on YouTube.
Yeah.
30 seconds, like I do 3 skips,
and
there's already ass on the screen, and I'm like, look, it took me
like
30 seconds to find this video. I skipped 30 seconds, and there's sexual stuff right off the bat. It's just too sexual. Like, you can like, and she was like, well, look at Future's bars. He talks about. I'm like, that's one bar in the entire song. He doesn't talk about much else.
Wet ass pussy.
Right. When the chorus is wet ass pussy like 10 times over. And then you move on to talking about, like, having sex and getting fucked and, like, all this other stuff. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to change you. It's just, like, if I don't want to, like...
It's just not your music taste.
I just don't want to see that right now.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to listen to girls talking about having, like, getting fucked by these other dudes. Like, it's just too sexual to me, and I just didn't like it. And she was like... So you don't like Lil Nas X, so you're homophobic. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all.
I actually really like Lil Nas.
He's good. I like Panini. I like, what was his first one?
Old
Town Road. Like, he's got some good music. It's just like, and like the whole devil thing. So like, I'm religious and everything. So that kind of upset me. And when he made the shoes with the human blood in it, I was like, okay, I'm starting to disassociate with you a little bit.
But like,
but he's still got good music. Like, he's got good music. It's just that was a little bit too much. Like the devil stuff was like,
that's what
like you trying to like grind on the devil and stuff like that. It's like you're really buddying up to the devil and saying like God doesn't love you. It's like God loves everyone, whatever. Now I'm turning into like this is like a religious thing.
God loves you
and like
all.
thinking like Cardi, I don't listen to her, but she has like some fine songs when she doesn't talk about sex.
What was the song with like the red bottoms or some shit? Like that was a decent song.
What was her first one that was big?
It's like Cardi or
Bodak
Cardi.
Yellow.
Yeah,
Bodak Yellow. That was a great song.
Oh yeah.
I like that song. It wasn't very sexual. It was just a good rap song.
Yeah. What we're trying to say, we just don't like super
totally,
songs.
Totally. And there's nothing against the people who make the songs.
It's just
you
not
are
our
who you
taste.
are. It's not my personal taste, and my coworker wouldn't let me have that. And I was like, look, I like at the end of the conversation, I was like, look, it's my opinion.
Yeah,
like
just
you have your music taste, I have my music taste. I was like, some people don't like rap, some people like country music. She was like, I hate country music. I was like I like country music. I'm not gonna tell you that you're against cowboys for not liking country music. It's like everyone's got their taste. You are who you are. You do you, and like let people have their opinion. Let people have their taste. Like
you just respect everyone's opinion.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
That's the moral of.
That's the moral of this whole story right now.
That was a long tangent.
Dude, I told you.
You were passionate about that.
I will talk, and I will talk. If you don't cut me off, I will talk. So.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
It was a good rant.
Yeah. We don't like super sexual music, and we respect everyone's opinions.
Exactly. You are who you are. Dude, don't get me started on the Eagles.
Oh.
We won't go there. We won't go there.
Hughes.
I'll go on for another.
How do you feel about QB1?
I mean, I like Jalen Hurts. He showed a bunch of promise last year. He also showed.
He's also like a one read.
He also showed a bunch of problems. I mean, he got thrown into it when Wentz was falling apart because Wentz played terribly. Now Wentz is gonna have a great year this year. He's gonna be on the Colts.
I think he'll be.
He's on the Colts. He's back with the offensive coordinator that he had when he was gonna win. Yep, Frank Reich. He's now the head coach of the Colts. Yeah. When Wentz was gonna win MVP, Frank Reich was his offensive coordinator. Yeah. So I believe Wentz is gonna bounce back. Wentz is gonna be a beast. The Colts are gonna go to the playoffs, probably like a second round kind of.
Yeah,
season.
it's that sort of thing. No, I've seen him in like videos of like training where he's they're all playing like team knockout and he's like so happy.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude. He's a competitor. He's gonna have a great time. He's got good receivers around him. Mm-hmm. He's got good defense. He's got good tight ends. He's got a really good O-line.
Really good O-line.
So I mean, the dude is gonna have a good. He's
not gonna have to play hero ball because he can just hand the ball off to one of like the 3 running backs they have there.
Jonathan Taylor, who's a beast.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack, and then
Marlon
they've
Mack.
got the other guy.
I don't know.
The third dude, I don't remember
know
him. He was a rookie last year, and he was Naheem Hines. He's
He's
more of a receiving back.
Like a scat back.
He's more of a receiving back, but he's gonna be good.
Great.
Love Jalen Hurts. I think if he doesn't work out and the whole Deshaun Watson situation gets figured out, we could trade for Deshaun.
And I mean, because the Eagles have a history of like trading for that kind of like media infamy QB, like with Michael Vick.
Yeah. So with Vick, I actually had a discussion with my dad about this last night. But the whole Vick situation. So when we traded for Vick was coming. He had just came out of prison.
Yeah.
So he was out of prison. He had already done his time, and he was coming back into the world. And we gave him a second chance. The difference with Deshaun is Deshaun still hasn't gone to jail. None of his cases have even been tried yet.
Yeah.
He's been accused he has 22 different accusations. 18 of them are sexual assault allegations.
Wait, what are the other 4?
It's something along the lines of sexual assault, but it's not. I believe it's something along the lines of sexual assault, but it's not.
Yeah,
technically
just for Deshaun Watson,
sexual assault.
I'm not gonna make any assumptions. We're just gonna have to wait and see if he's guilty.
Exactly.
If he's guilty, he's guilty.
I mean,
and like that's a terrible
thing. Yeah, totally. No, yeah. I'm not supporting anything that he's done. If that's all gets worked out, and it's found that he's innocent, or it's found that he's guilty and he goes through the prison system, and he comes back out and he still wants to play. If the Eagles want to trade for him or get him, that's fine. Like he's a good quarterback.
He's
like a phenomenal
he's
quarterback.
Like a top 5 guy.
It's just that he's got too much too much overhead around him that you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because if you trade for him now, he might go to jail tomorrow and be in jail for 15 years, and he'll never play football again.
You just wasted like 2 or 3 or 4 first-round picks
exactly.
on that.
And the Eagles have 3 first-round picks this year potentially, with a guarantee of 2, and maybe 2 next year. So I don't want to give up picks. Like I'd rather just take Jalen Hurts, ride with him,
just see how he does,
and then use the picks to build your team up around him. Get him some receivers, get him some linemen, get him a tight end. Even though we've got Dallas Goedert. Get some DBs, like build your defense.
Yeah, you need
build it because we're not a win now team.
No,
we need 3 to 4 years, and then we're going to be a contender.
Yeah, to like.
And the Cowboys look really good. Washington looks really good, and the Giants all look really good. They all made Washington and the Giants made some huge offseason moves. Curtis Samuel to Washington. Kenny Galladay to the Giants. What was his name? John Ross to the Giants. Trading for drafting Tony for the Giants.
Yeah, there's Tony.
And the Washington defense is phenomenal.
They
just need some cornerbacks because they lost Darby.
And if you get Ryan Fitz's play that he did last year, you're chilling.
If he can play well.
The thing is, you just don't know with him. Like he could.
He's too big of a question mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the Giants have good defense with James Bradbury at corner, and then they also signed who was the Titans corner?
I know who you're talking about.
Okay, well basically the Titans' #1 corner just signed with the Giants also a couple weeks ago. He was going to go to the Eagles, or he was in talks with the Eagles. The Giants overpaid for him. They gave him a 3-year, $40 million deal. That's way too much money. The dude was probably like a 3-year, $30 million, maybe $28 million. He wasn't worth $40 million.
And then
overpaid.
And then their D line's really good too.
Their D line's pretty good, yeah. And it's gonna be a fun division to watch this year. As an Eagles fan, I'm biased saying that, but
no, it's gonna.
There's a lot of youth in that division.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's coming off of that crazy injury where his foot was sideways. Like, it's gonna be a really fun division to watch with how they play out in the storyline. And if the Eagles have a bad year, then I'll take a top 5 pick. We'll get a really good player, and then we've got Indianapolis's pick if Wentz plays 75% of the snaps, which he will.
He will, yeah.
He will.
Yeah, I think he will too.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get Indianapolis's first-round pick, and we've also got Miami's first-round pick when we traded with them this year. When we traded back. So, I mean, Miami will probably have a good year as long as Tua can play well and stay healthy.
Yeah.
And the Colts will have a really good year. So I'm expecting that Colts pick to be
a first rounder. I think
late first round, but late.
Still a first round, and you can use
still
those
first round.
You can use those to trade.
You can trade those 2 to get back up
to get like the #1 QB in the draft, whoever it is.
If Hurts is bad.
So
yeah, there's a lot of solutions for the Eagles. A lot of football's gonna have. It's gonna be a great year this year. We're like, what is it? 3 weeks away from preseason starting.
Holy shit!
And then there's 4 weeks of preseason. and then when the season starts, so we're like 7 weeks away from week 1, 6 to 7 weeks away.
Crazy.
So I'm excited. I'm jumping out of my skin, and I'm gonna be watching it at college, which is gonna be awesome.
Oh, me too.
Find a sports bar somewhere and just go sit for like 4 hours a day and watch football.
No, yeah, we have TVs in one. It's not the dorm room that like the building that I'm in, but it's the one that's like right next to it. There's like these giant TVs,
Oh,
so
awesome.
You know that we're gonna like sit down and watch all the games.
That's sick. That's really fun.
It'll be Colts games because Indianapolis.
Oh right,
Yeah,
that'll be really fun.
So
So
we'll see
you'll
if
get to
Cardi-
watch Wentz, and you'll have all
Yeah,
those,
that's
probably
sick.
some people from there.
Mhm.
But that's the other great thing is like, we're all going to college, and we're all gonna meet people from different places.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be someone.
Dude,
like,
we're gonna have so much sports banter.
Exactly. There's gonna be people arguing with each other. Like, I'm going to school at ASU. There's 73,000 students there, which is humongous.
That's so much.
I'm going from what was it, like 1,000 students?
750.
750 students.
Around
So
that.
not even 1,000 students. Like somewhere around 1,000. Like but below.
It's way under.
To
1,000.
73,000 students. Like I am taking a huge jump.
Huge
There's gonna be
step.
so many new people that I'm gonna meet. So many faces I'm gonna like get to see every day. I probably won't even. I definitely will
You
not
won't
get to
meet
know everyone at the
Oh,
school.
Yeah, same.
But you're gonna meet people from like
Literally
foreign
all over.
countries, people from North America, people from South America, people from the East, people from West. Like
Everywhere.
I mean, we're all gonna have a lot of fun.
I'm so excited.
Where are you going again?
Hushin College.
Nice.
There's-
I haven't heard that, but I assume it's something.
It's like
I
an
assume
acting-
it's
I've
an
only met one person
acting
that
kind of college.
it's
Yeah.
performing arts, and it's on an actual studio lot.
Where is it?
It's downtown LA.
Oh, that's
It's like
It's-
near
it's
near
awesome.
USC apparently.
Yeah, it's.
That's
So he
super
can go to
fun.
all the games.
Oh
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh my God, I can go all to the.
You can go to football
US
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. You can see Jim.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I might be staying in
Mars
the
down
same
there.
student housing as.
Well, the football guys have their own building.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's how most D1 programs.
Yeah.
The football guys, dude. D1 sports is ridiculous. They have their own dining
Are you
halls.
serious?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
So
fuck.
all the sports people they get like their own dining hall. So like the football guys and the baseball guys and the soccer people, they'll all eat in their own place. Like the soccer girls, the soccer guys, the baseball girls, the softball girls, they'll all eat in one dorm. And then
Yeah.
there's this
Jesus.
and then there's the regular student dorm.
That's gonna be a
But
fun.
the football
that would
guys
be
have
such
their
a
own one.
fun party dorm.
Yeah, so
All the
dude.
sports kids.
And so like all the sports
See if I can go to one of those.
Yeah. Oh hey, I don't know if you know.
right, exactly. But yeah, it's really cool. I love dude gonna be good.
Dude,
I mean, he's
I
got a
think-
he's got a
Isn't he starting for USC?
I think he
don't-
redshirted this year.
he redshirted last year when we were
last year, yeah.
seniors. He redshirted.
Yeah.
What does redshirting mean?
It
means
means
that
you
you-
practice with the team, you don't play.
You don't play,
Oh,
but you get
okay.
that year of eligibility.
So you only have
Still. You just.
My funny bone. Sorry.
So for college sports, you only have 4 years of eligibility.
Okay.
Redshirting allows you to have a 5th year. So you redshirt
Yeah.
1 year, that year doesn't count, but you get to be with the team, and then you can still and you
Just so
can't
you
play
get better.
games.
So you
So
get better.
you
in
learn the
practice.
system, you learn the plays, you spend all that time, and then you have 4 seasons playing with the team.
Yeah.
So this will be his
So-
redshirt. He'll be a redshirt freshman this year, and then he'll be a redshirt sophomore,
Sophomore, then
redshirt
junior.
junior, redshirt senior.
So he goes to USC for 5 years.
Yeah.
he can.
He can.
But- so
Unless
you
he
could-
goes to the.
Oh, okay.
unless
okay,
he
okay,
goes,
okay.
unless he declares a year early, but you can technically like if he finishes all his schooling in 4 years, he can still play there, but not
Oh, shit.
really be in school,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. Like, but
Because
I
you
mean,
just like
You just
yeah.
show up to practice.
for most football players, you'll use those 5 years to do all of your schooling.
Because it takes
because
longer because you're doing practice.
You're
every
always
day.
like your life is devoted to the team. Like you're always practicing, you're always studying, you're always watching film.
Yeah.
You've always got sports. You've always got football going on. Even when you're not playing,
Even in the off season.
you need
yeah.
to be
Oh,
doing
yeah.
stuff. Off season, you're training.
Yeah.
So you have to use that 5th year to help get your classes done.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
So most athletes take 5 years.
That's kind of why I quit football after sophomore year.
Because
after
Big
J-
Cool J was gonna go. This man over here was gonna be a D1 recruit at Bama.
Oh yeah.
This
you
dude was
already
gonna
know.
go D1.
Hey, the 150-pound defensive
Right, exactly.
lineman,
There you go.
already know.
The beast, Jason
Oh, my
Storms.
God. I mean, the only thing good for me is the name at that point. For that.
Dude, I remember freshman football. I was 115 pounds, dude.
Dude, I remember.
was fucking tiny.
I still remember that game where there was a fumble, and I missed it.
Oh, and I
you
got
j-
it.
and you
Yeah,
got it.
that was our first game.
I dove
That was
for
our
the
first
fumble,
game.
and I missed, and it like bounced away. Like I dove and I dove early, and it kept rolling, and I missed, and so I was dove short. And then you picked it up and started running, and I was like,
That's sick.
yes,
That's
like
sick.
Yes,
we
he
got
did
the
it.
ball.
He did
I didn't
it.
get the ball, but we got the
But
ball.
we got the ball.
Like it's our ball now.
Doug, do you
Yeah.
remember on the football team?
Oh yeah,
That
Delta
kid
Force.
was tiny. Oh my
Delta
god.
Force.
That's how Ben
Who
Sheehan
was
broke
it?
his
It was-
fucking
it was-
arms. It was.
Well, it was
Dude, that was dangerous.
So Delta Force.
That
for
was
those,
dangerous.
Those who don't know who Delta Force was, it was the name of our defensive line when we put in the smallest kids on the team.
Yeah.
So they were all like.
When we were either
probably
up by
like
30 or like
5'2" to like 4'11", so they were all these tiny kids. I mean, was probably 4'11". If you're watching this, you were just short back then. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how short you were.
Short back then.
He was shorter than me.
Yeah.
He was like 5'3".
So basically, all these kids would go in, and they'd play D-line, and they would be going against like the biggest kids on the field, and they would just get like mauled.
No, but it was
But
funny
it was
to
so
watch.
fun to watch.
Until broke his
broke his wrist, and then we ended the Delta Force because he got picked up and put on his back,
and like he
tried to catch his fall backwards,
and that was just
and he broke both of his wrists.
No, they were like dislocated too. Like
yeah, that's what happened to me.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You
what was it? Sophomore year? Yeah,
sophomore year.
Sophomore year, I made a tackle on 4th down to stop them from getting the first down, and when I landed, my arm got stuck behind my back.
Yeah, and
I landed on top of it, and I broke the top of I broke the top of my wrist, like the top of the bones in your arm, and dislocated my wrist. So it was a 100% break and a 90% dislocation.
I broke my arm right here. Remember the last game of freshman year?
Oh,
yeah.
No, this kid just
That was so fun.
That
was when I ran the ball in ass jersey.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, because I was playing the whole.
No, you had that.
I was playing
like sick.
I had
the blue tinted visor, and I looked like
Darth
Darth
like a
Vader.
monster, bro.
Dude, I looked like a stormtrooper or something.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
No, but that kid just like lowered his helmet into me like 3 times in a row, and then eventually just like pressure, break. And then I ran out, and then coach was like, I was like, Coach, my arm really. She's like, Nah, you're fine, sir. We're getting back.
Coach.
No,
you remember him?
No, Coach Kruger, right?
Yeah, Kruger.
Oh, Coach K. That guy.
Kruger was
awesome.
the best.
Kruger was the guy.
Dude, he doesn't coach anymore. I miss him, dude.
I know.
I think I've still got his phone number. I'll text him or something.
Wait, you remember Coach got?
Yes, I do remember that. We talked about that.
We're blurring that.
But yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, that was fun though.
Dude, football was the best.
Was it?
I'm gonna miss football. I've got to say, I might play club football like flag because they have that at ASU, or I'm gonna try to walk on one or the other.
Yeah, you
probably just play club football.
I mean, if they don't have a long snapper.
If they don't have a long snapper, I'm the man. But it's like, because if I like don't fit at ASU or like if it's too hot for me, which it's like 100 degrees every day.
Oh yeah.
If it's too hot for me or if I'm struggling with schooling, I'm gonna transfer out and probably end up back at Catholic. Where I was recruited and still recruited for football. Yeah. Dude, if I didn't have Crohn's, fuck Crohn's, dude.
What's Crohn's?
My stomach condition.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I was. No, it's fine. I can talk about it. I mean,
if you want.
Yeah, it's who I am. But basically, Crohn's is my stomach condition. My body. There's this one part of my stomach that doesn't function properly. Because it's got like ulcers in it.
Oh.
So, basically, you probably know, but like I was recruited to West Point to play football. I was recruited to the U.S. Air Force Academy to play football. I was being recruited to a couple. I was talking with Arizona. I actually received emails from Arizona State. Like I was looking at playing some. Like I went to Cal for a football thing. Mm-hmm. I was probably gonna go to West Point, be a Army soldier and play football there, but ultimately I got Crohn's and that doesn't let me play football, D1 football anymore. Because I was like, I don't know if you remember, but bro, I was 210 pounds. My what was it?
Junior.
No, my sophomore year.
Because that's when you got it. Yeah.
I got it like beginning of junior year, so like end of sophomore year I was like 210, and like 6 foot. So I had the build to play like defensive end, which is my position. Yeah. But ultimately, like now I'm like 180, 185. Like I just shed all that weight from my Crohn's. Because I mean, for football, I used to eat a bowl of ice cream a night, and I would go through like a gallon of
just to get weight. Yeah.
Right. I would go through a gallon of ice cream a week. Like I would just be eating ice cream. And I would have like 2 dinners, have like 2 lunches, 2 breakfasts. It was just because you have to. With like when you're doing double days and when you're doing all this stuff, it's all about putting weight on. And it's not the healthiest thing. Of course, it's not the healthiest thing.
But you kind of.
But like you have to, and like played football for 13 years. Like, I had devoted my life to the sport. And I'm still going to. Like, I'm still going to coach football in one way or another. I'm still going to be in the football realm. But it was like, Crohn's was like
it just knocked all that.
It was just a shot,
off.
and it just took some of my dreams away. But I still got other dreams I'm gonna go and pursue.
Exactly.
But like, you know,
it's
you
not,
roll with the punches.
It's not how you. I forget the quote. It's like not how you blink, it's how you react.
It's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you get back up, right?
Or something. Not how hard you. It's like something like that.
Yeah.
That's the third.
It's like you can't control what happens to you in life. You can only control how you react.
Yes, there you go. Well, as the sun has set and I mean the stars are like about to come out.
About to come out.
About
yeah,
to
not
come
there
out.
yet, but
you know, I'll end this off with a little camping story. It seems to be a kind of the tradition. So basically, I was at this area near Lake Tahoe. It was like an hour away. It's pretty chill. Me and like my old babysitter and like a few of our friends like would come up there, and it was like hella chill. We'd just jump off rocks. And anyways, one of those times when we were jumping off rocks, I was like kind of afraid to at the end. So I was like, I was always like the last one to jump off rocks. It was like a few years ago, so it was like before I don't know. And then I was like, they're like, Jason, you gotta jump or else. And I'm just like, shoot, okay, I'll jump. And then on my way down, like I feel something, like it's kind of like you feel like a little like tug, like in your like back area, or like you know like your like my ass area. And then like I land in the water and I'm like what just happened? And then like I walk out of the water, I didn't feel anything, and then I just see like everyone's starting to like look at me funny. They're like looking like in that area, and then I turn around and there's like half of like my swim trunks are just like hanging off. So like my one of my whole ass cheeks is just like out.
like your swim trunks ripped.
Yeah, they ripped like I don't know if they ripped like that.
Like
so
down the side of the back.
Oh, the back, yeah.
Oh,
and
damn.
the side. And then like
Damn.
I didn't have any. We don't bring towels because you don't need them because you dry so fast.
Right.
So I had to walk home it was like a 3-mile hike, and but it was like super up and downhill, which it probably took like 2 hours of me. I was just doing that, and then like when we got back to camp, I didn't even care at that point. So I kind of just like spent the next like 2 days, and I was just like whatever, it's fine.
You had your ass out for so long, you just didn't care.
I just didn't care, yeah. And it was basically all guys, so like it was fine.
There you go.
But yeah, that's our story for the night. Thank you for sitting at this campfire, and thank you for joining us.
Of course, anytime.
Anytime, yeah.
And,
but I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one.
And stay safe, y'all. Peace.
Peace.